Being four, what do we truly know about life other than getting food into our little tummies? Like being four, do we even know about money, how to wash, how to cook, how to clean? But what if I surprise you by telling you that Kotaro does these things every single day with little to no help as he's used to it because of his parents' abandonment? Today, we're going to be analyzing the anime Kotaro Lives Alone, trying to dissect the parts of his life such as parenthood, abandonment, imbalanced emotions. But how the title of Kotaro Lives Alone is so ironic as Kotaro truly isn't alone. Hi, my name is Tori. Welcome to Commentori, where I talk even when no one is listening. Kotaro Lives Alone documents the life of 4-year-old Kotarosato, who lives in apartment 203 all by himself. The scenes in this anime basically tell us about Kotaro's past, his present, and being abandoned by his parents, but is greatly supported by his neighbors and the community at large. Kotaro Lives Alone was made by Mami Tsumara and is a Japanese anime as well. It was first broadcast on TV Ashi in 2021, made it to Netflix in 2021. The main characters in this anime are Shin Karino, who is Kotaro's neighbor, Mizuki Akito, who is Kotaro's neighbor, Isamu Tamaru, who is Kotaro's other neighbor in the apartment complex. Even though Kotaro is 4, he is truly an old soul. Which child does you know speak like this?
That was a decent bath indeed. I believe tomorrow I shall attempt to sample their bottled milk.
But as explained earlier, Kotaro is a single tenant 203 apartment. He shops by himself, bathes himself, does all of these things by himself. And all of these facts basically touch the surface as to the person Kotaro is. Through this series, it pains me when I hear people pass the road and they be like, "Oh, Kotaro, where's your dad? Oh, Kotaro, where's your mom?" Because his growing up is pretty rough. Little is known of Kotaro's parents, but I guess he had a good life, roughly about at least 1 or 2 years, because in episode 9, when the rain falls, Kotaro volunteers, basically helps to shelter people from the rain when it was falling, and it's something that he says he learned from his mentor, and we later get to notice that the quote-unquote mentor is literally Kotaro's father. So they were walking home from school at one point, and he passes on this incredible lesson about keeping people safe by the use of an umbrella, and a wet shoulder basically tells you how much you care for that person. So if you're walking in the rain with somebody under your umbrella and your shoulder is literally wet, it definitely shows how much you care for the person, because you give the person more of the umbrella, more of the shelter than you even give yourself, and that's such a valuable lesson. So I think Kotaro might have had it good before his parents drifted apart. In episode 7, we see Kotaro's mom basically saying to him that she can't be able to take care of him anymore.
Where are you going, Mommy?
Mommies, I'm not going to be able to take care of you anymore. You'll have to take care of yourself now. Be strong, and we'll be together again one day.
And Kotaro's father even has anger issues based on my observation. When Kotaro was in the children's home with the other children, his father saw him in a picture, which basically adds more to his trauma, because Kotaro doesn't take pictures for this exact reason. He does not want his father to find him. We notice further on in the series that Kotaro's mom is dead, but nevertheless, Kotaro definitely believes that his mom is going to come back for him one day. According to goodtherapy.com, abandonment fears can impair a person's ability to trust others or emotional effects, which may be why Kotaro detests the Yakuza-looking neighbor when he tries to hug him. But regardless, Kotaro still keeps up his momentum and he always fights. This parenthood abandonment also ties into the destitute effects of starvation and neglect, which we later see in the anime that Kotaro literally eats tissues in order to survive. He makes up a story in which his parents are ninjas to get the other students in his class off his back. It's quite cunning that he uses this example as it makes him gain a bit of popularity and it takes the eyes of the students away from him. So I think it is quite cunning why Kotaro uses this as a great deterrent from people asking him where his parents are. With parenthood abandonment, there definitely comes some maturity in the areas of the child's life. Without having parents or having an absence of parents, it unconsciously makes us mature because we have nobody to fend for us other than ourselves. Thus, this is what Kotaro does. Kotaro ironically says to his friend in episode 4 that, quote, "It is time we grow up," and Kotaro is 4. What kind of growing up can you do at 4? If throwing a ball is like having a conversation, imagine the pain of throwing a ball to someone who has no intention of catching it, he says in episode 4, which alludes to the fact that he gave his mother all that he could give as a child, but for some reason she doesn't reciprocate the same faith as her son. Bro, time after time, he allows the ball to hit him. The ball metaphor is from Kotaro's mother ignoring his advances in order to get her attention. Thus, Kotaro allows the ball to hit him and hurt him every single time. They flung the ball at him to the point where Kotaro got hurt. And it's basically just to show that there is no point in trying to get the attention of somebody who literally doesn't care. And it may have been a coping mechanism. Kotaro also ironically still has love for his parents, and I think that if he was older there would be more of a resentment. He still believes that his mom is coming back, and that just goes to show that even though Kotaro has so much maturity, there is just still a sense of a child. Yeah, he lives alone, but that was only at the beginning of the anime. As the anime progresses, we see where Kotaro is being cared for in ways that he never thought that he would before. He's being supported by all of the neighbors in his complex, his community members who come together and to help him in every single way. So truly, as the anime progresses, I don't think Kotaro truly lives alone. When Tameru taught Kotaro the act of cleanliness, in one of the episodes where Kotaro has random strangers in the supermarket help him to design a bento box for school. I want to touch a bit about Karino and Mizuki because they're both like mother and father figures to Kotaro, although Karino later then becomes his guardian and comes to look after him, which is quite ironic to the fact that in the beginning of the anime in episode 1, Karina says, and I quote, "That kid's gonna be a pain in my ass." But it turns out that he ended up following Kotaro everywhere, which is so ironic. A strength in this anime is basically that the animation doesn't take much detail to have this impact, but it goes to show that not cartoons or animations definitely do not need that much detail to make impact. The characters can be the impact, the dramatic effect can be the impact. My next strength is that the dub was great. Sometimes the dub can be so deceiving, but the dub was actually great. It conveyed the emotions of the characters very well, as well as how Kotaro speaks, because I think if it was in Japanese, like, it would still sound a bit mature, but I think when it's conveyed in English, it's like, oh, he's, if I get what I mean. A major strength of Kotaro Lives Alone, though, is the fact that it highlights adult themes and issues without it overshadowing Kotaro's focus. Now, before I watched Kotaro, I saw it and it was like, oh my god, it's gonna document the life of a little kid. Is it gonna be boring? And I decided to give it a try, and trust me, it was so not what I expect. Like, it comes at you like, oh my god, it's a little child, but then after you watch it, you want to cry your eyes out. Focus on the adult issues such as Mizuki's boyfriend, who is supposedly abusing her, as you can see in episode 9, where she ended up having to leave the apartment complex, leaving Kotaro, which was so sad. I didn't want her to go, which is a weakness of the show, but it shows that people can leave at any time. Another major strength of Kotaro Lives Alone is Karina's attitude changes. So in the beginning, Karina thought, oh my god, this kid's going to basically ruin my life. But no, Carino basically takes care of himself. In the beginning, Carino swore on the one gray sweatsuit. Yeah, it throw you off it you. And every time he's like, oh, not every day you have to bathe. But I saw where he kind of was, because of Kotaro's attitude, start to change his clothes, go to the bathhouse frequently, starts to eat, which shows that Kotaro added light to everyone's lives even if he didn't notice himself. There is a much focus on the parents, which there shouldn't be, but I just wanted to say a bit more about the parents. But the focus on them, though, the good thing is it's enough to the point where we can get it, but I would love to see, like, their lives. What were the parents' lives like? What made Kotaro's mother hate him so much? If you watch Kotaro Lives Alone, what episode broke you? Honestly, it's episode 9, where I found out why Kotaro wears the same clothes every single day. You know the cartoon thing where all of the characters wear the same thing? Example like SpongeBob them and stuff. I thought it was one of those things. But it wasn't anything like that. It had such a profound meaning. And remember earlier I was talking about Tamamori? It comes back right here in the anime. In episode 10, we meet the designer Tamamori, who washes Kotaro's sweater all the time. Like Kotaro would ring on his doorbell, then he would come in with some weird stain on his clothes. And Tamamori would basically take Kotaro's sweater and wash it out to him and put it up. Because as a designer, you're very key and you're very crucial of what people wear. So it turned out that Tamamori was moving, and so Kotaro wouldn't be there, in the days anymore, because when a child has so much neglect and stuff at home, they rather go somewhere else than be at home. Tamamori leaves a very good lesson to Kotaro in the fact that he shows him how to be clean and tells him that all the time you should maintain cleanliness, but the shirts that Kotaro wears every day are changed, because the shirts that Tamamori was supposed to put, into the stores and stuff to sell, when they were designed, he gives Kotaro like all of them that he designed and teaches him that, I won't be here to wash your clothes anymore, so you should take care of them. And that killed me. Oh my gosh. Me I got dead. Well, I guess that's it for my little analysis. As I said before, there are so many things in this anime to analyze, and it was such a good one to me that I found it fit to make a video about it. So, have you watched Kotaro Lives Alone? Comment down below, and I will see you on Sunday.